Accessing library computer data.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Captain's Dry Dock. Now, the Enterprise D kit actually is 3 models in one. So you have the engineering section, you have the saucer section, and you have the model which is over my shoulder and completed. And you can't see it because it's tiny. It's the Captain's Yacht. So this is part of the Enterprise D which was never really seen in the TV show or the film. You could see the bottom of it but not the rest of it. And this kit, if you've seen my vlog, all the other episodes, it's taken ages because it's such an in-depth model to build, and so I wanted a quick win just to boost my morale and feel like I'm getting somewhere and completed something. And so essentially this is a 2-part model. It's a model within itself, and it's a fantastic challenge because it was open to some artistic license because it was never seen in the TV show or in the film, but there are diagrams online for it. So I based my research on a couple of diagrams, and I used a bit of artistic license to project how I saw the Captain's Yacht to look like on the other side, with its windows, the hatch, and also decals, which again, I've never made my own decals before, and by the end of this episode you will know how to make your own decals if you don't already know how to make them. When I say decals, some people call them decals or decals, so I don't know the best way to pronounce it, depends where you are in the world, but essentially that's what I did to actually make this happen. So let's get cracking. I wanted the yacht to be detachable from the main Enterprise D model without showing any fixings, so using teeny tiny magnets I glued one inside the yacht before putting it together. The other magnet will later be glued inside the Enterprise saucer section. These are strong enough to hold it in place, but not too strong that it will risk chipping the paint when you snap it together. After some light filling and sanding, I coated it with black primer. Looking at research, the yacht needed some windows. This is a detail not added on the kit, and I assume it's because it won't be seen when it's glued together on the model. Plus, it was never seen on the TV show or the movie. To locate the windows, I divided up the surface into quarters and used thin masking tape to mimic the windows. To make the windows look as if they're recessed, I hit the surface with several coats of filler primer. This will build up and leave a nice thick surface around the masked areas. Then I hit it with another coat of black primer to prepare. Using the same base paint as the rest of the Enterprise, Games Workshop Administratum Grey, 3 layers are laid down and left overnight to harden. So this model gave me a fantastic opportunity to learn how to make my own decals because it's so tiny, there's no way I could actually paint that level of detail. Plus the model kit doesn't come with those decals. So I went on Adobe Illustrator and started sketching up my own. Now this file can be downloaded via this video. Just go down in the comments below and you can download this precise sheet. After printing the graphics on inkjet decal sheet, it has to be left for a few hours for the ink to properly dry. Then it needs a couple of blasts of varnish or lacquer, and then left overnight to harden. To stop the model moving and having to chase it around my desk while applying the fine details, sticking it down with masking tape on a piece of wood will help keep control of the piece as I'm working on it. The decal is carefully cut out, leaving a tab, and a score separating the decal from where the tweezers will be pinching. Then it's popped into some lukewarm water to activate. While that's loosening up, Microset is brushed onto the surface. This is a solution that will help stick the decal down and help mould it to the surface of the model. By now the decal should be ready, and you can tell as it slides freely from its backing. Then it's carefully slid into position. And when I'm happy it's correct, it's dabbed down with a moist tissue or cotton bud, or Q-tip if you're Canadian or American. If this was a large decal on a textured or curved or even scored surface, a solution called Microsol would be added, which helps soften the decal further and helps mould over those details. But again, as this is so small, only another layer of Microset is brushed on, so to further help the decals stick down. The model kit already has decals for the other side that is showing on the model. so these are applied in the exact same way. However, I also used paint to shade the centre as the decal wasn't quite right. To tone down and blend the decals with the surface, a very light dusting of the base coat is laid down. For me, this is what I've been really looking forward to. Carefully peeling off the window masks, revealing the detailed recesses. As this will be handled while being taken on and off the saucer section to show off, it's really good to actually add some matte varnish to protect the decals and the paint. To help give the windows some depth, I cracked open some gloss lacquer and carefully applied it to just the windows to mimic the rest of the model. Also, I added a spot of lacquer on each of the navigation light decals to give them that 3D effect. This is perhaps the most easiest and fun models I've ever had to build. However, it wasn't until after making this that I was told in the community that the name of Captain Picard's yacht is the Calypso. Being that the case, I've included this in the decal sheet for you to download and use on your very own Captain's yacht.
Accessing library computer data.